Coming up on this edition of Sports Extra.
Carolina went undefeated in the regular season at home after a win against Duke.
UNC's group of lovable losers couldn't quite get it done again.
And you've heard the saying, health is wealth. See what some Tar Heels are doing to honor that phrase.
All that and so much more. Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. We hope you had a great fall break. I'm Elena Pirtle.
And I'm Adam Jordan. But you know, a team that hasn't taken any breaks this year, it's the UNC field hockey team.
Undefeated and regular season conference champions.
Sunday afternoon, the Heels capped off the home part of the regular season with senior day against Duke. After a quiet start to the first half, the Heels opened the scoring on a penalty stroke from Megan Duvernois for her fourth goal of the season. Then Erin Matson did what she does best, drives through two defenders and finds the back of the net. Beautiful shot there. Catherine Hayden would then extend UNC's lead to 3-1 in the second half after Marissa Creator sets the table right there with a beautiful diving assist. After Duke scored again to cut into the lead, the ball pinballed in around the net before it found a waiting Catherine Hayden. Ashley Hoffman would then seal the deal with a penalty corner late. Heels win 5-2. Hoffman talked about the Heels' game plan going into her final game at Karen Shelton Stadium.
It's always a hard game playing Duke. Just the mentality of both teams is very difficult to play. But yeah, I think that we wanted to play them hard and consistent the whole 70 minutes, and I think that's what we did.
Thanks in part to Hoffman's performance, the field hockey team is absolutely rolling, and we want to know more.
Live from Karen Shelton Stadium, we welcome field hockey analyst Colleen Brown to give us some insight on this phenomenal team. Colleen?
How's it going, guys?
We're doing great. Hope you're staying warm outside. First, let's talk about the seniors. This group secured the win yesterday against Duke on senior day, going undefeated for the year with one away game to go. What's been so special about this group?
Well, this group of seniors is certainly one of the most talented Coach Karen Shelton has had in a long time. From Ava Vanderhoog to Ashley Hoffman to Malin Everett and Morgan Goetz, it sure seems like this team is straight out of an all-star game. Throughout their careers, these seniors have built an impressive resume with 75 wins to their name and only 14 losses. They've won 2 ACC tournament championships already during their time at UNC and are looking to add a third this season. They're certainly one of the best groups to play at Carolina. The only thing that has eluded the group so far has been a national championship, and with the way this team is playing this year, especially a win against the reigning champions, the UConn Huskies last week, this special group is closer to clinching a natty.
Colleen, UConn has been a thorn in UNC's side the past few years, and that win could get fans thinking about the tournament. So what's different about this year than the past few years when Carolina's come up just short of winning it all?
Well, in my opinion, this team is just more experienced than previous teams. Sure, nearly every team coached under Karen Shelton is successful, but most teams haven't been through the roller coaster ride that this team, especially these seniors, have been through. The seniors have been to the national championship twice in the past 3 years. They've been in the ACC championship every single season. And though they lost to UConn in the Final Four last year, it feels like they've jumped over that mental hurdle by grabbing the 2-1 win this year. Not to mention the team has players like Erin Matson and Marissa Creator. Though neither is a senior, both have played a key role in making the Heels a dominant team this year.
Speaking of Creator, she was named ACC Offensive Player of the Week last week. What do you expect to see from her as the Heels prepare for postseason?
Marissa Creator has been a strong player so far in the regular season, and I see no reason why that strength should not continue into the postseason. Coming through in the clutch against both Boston College and UConn last week, Creator has proved she has the fortitude to get it done when it matters, which could be key for the Heels in the postseason when competition gets stiffer. Creator has scored 7 goals on the season with a shot percentage of 36.8, the highest on the team with the double-digit attempts. Creator has only been getting bigger. Keep in mind she's a junior, and Karen Shelton says Creator has helped set the tone for the team so far.
Well, all right, Colleen, there's still a whole postseason to go, so here's the all-important question. Do you think that this team has what it takes to bring home a natty?
Personally, I do. This team has the makings of a championship team. When you go 16-0 during the regular season, there isn't much left to debate. You have a great team. The Heels are heading into the postseason with no major injuries, knock on wood, and a roster saturated with talent. Not only do you have the seniors, plus Creator and Matson, you have plenty of other players capable of having big games. Ava Smallnars has been a consistent threat for the Heels, and so has Catherine Hayden. The list goes on and on as you look over this roster. I and the team expect to win this season.
Well, that's just one of the titles Heels fans have in mind.
That's Colleen Brown live. Thanks, Colleen. The third-ranked Tar Heel women's soccer team looked to clinch the ACC regular season championship on Sunday. To earn the title, they'd have to beat the Miami Hurricanes at Wake Med Soccer Park. Scoring began in the 41st minute with this skillful chip-in from Zoe Raday. The goal was Raday's 4th of the season and one of 19 shots on goal from the Tar Heels. Carolina outshot Miami 36-2 during the match. The second of those 36 shots to find the back of the net came in the 59th minute when Sydney Sproul sent this strike past the Hurricanes keeper. The 2-0 victory earned Carolina its 22nd regular season conference championship.
From two teams that are conference champs to a team that's trying to maintain its top spot, the men's soccer team got an important dub against Boston College on Friday. The Heels took the game 2-0, but it wasn't a cakewalk. Both teams battled until Nils Bruning finally broke through in the 81st minute. The Heels put up 9 shots, 3 on frame, and 2 of them got past the keeper. The first was Bruning's, the second by Jack Scahan in the 85th minute to clinch the game. It moved the Heels to 11-2-1 on the season and kept them atop the ACC Coastal Division standings as they close out the regular season.
After the win in Cary, the UNC women's soccer team continues to build on its impressive season. Natalie Bodie gives us a deeper look into one of the key players on the Tar Heel squad.
Long before Brianna Pinto was getting called up to play for the U.S. women's national team or helping lead the charge for the Tar Heel offense as a freshman, she was being raised by 2 former Carolina student athletes. Her player and her mother, a former softball player here in Chapel Hill. Brianna participated in both of her parents' sports early on before deciding to specialize in soccer, a decision her mother said she came to on her own.
Never wanted them to feel pressure to live up to what we both accomplished in our college careers.
Brianna continued to excel in soccer, and her father took advice from his classmates here at UNC, people like Mia Hamm and Christine Lilly, and put Brianna in a co-ed league.
I talked to Mia when I talked to Christine Lilly, and I went to school with them. I would ask them, well, where did you learn to play? They would say, well, we played with boys.
At a young age, Brianna would execute advanced moves without specific training.
Complicated moves that, you have to be taught how to do it, and she could just see it and do it. And that's when I knew that I had something special.
Brianna continued to be something special, and as a 5-star recruit, she had plenty of choices of where to play at the next level. However, because she grew up in a Tar Heel family, that was the college family she chose.
Like having insight on what being a UNC athlete means, it kind of influenced me to go to UNC as well, and it made it a goal of mine from a young age.
Living close by and having a family connection to Carolina certainly made the decision an easy one.
When I was 8, I got this shirt from Stacy Wilson, who is a former women's soccer player. That was kind of the moment.
That moment when Brianna decided she wanted to come here eventually led to this, when she scored the game winner in not only her first game, but in Coach Anson Dorance's 1,000th career win. This moment in her season could perhaps be topped only by winning a national championship, something she promised right after she inked with Carolina.
My freshman year at Carolina, we're going to win a national championship.
Both Brianna and her father are confident that a national championship could be in her future.
I think she's going to experience everything I experienced, but I think she's going to experience a national championship.
After securing the ACC regular season championship on Sunday, Brianna and the UNC women's soccer team are one step closer to reaching that goal. In Chapel Hill, I'm Natalie Bodie reporting.
I think that would make Mom and Dad proud and would further solidify the Pinto legacy at Carolina.
Orange, you glad you ain't us?
The football team can't seem to get out of its own way. The Heels take another last-second loss.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Defeat by 1,000 tiny cuts. That seems to be the story for the 2018 version of Carolina football. Saturday, it was the same song, different verse. First half, no drama. A couple of Syracuse field goals and a touchdown gave the Orange the lead heading into the half 13-7. In the third, you would expect competition to ramp up, and the Heels were about it. Antonia Williams pulled UNC within 6 with this 12-yard rumbling run. And then check out Daz Newsome. That's right, Daz Newsome checked out 75 yards to the house on a punt return to give the Heels the lead, looking like Ryan Switzer out there. With Freeman Jones tacking on 2 more field goals, the game looked like a surefire dub for the boys in blue. Then UNC football happened, and well, it wasn't pretty. First, an easy third down conversion from ARW to Carl Tucker dropped. First down there would have sealed the game. Q scored a touchdown on a deep ball to tie the game. Let him back in it, why not? 3 and out, Q's gets the ball back. Patrice Renee grabs the interception, so all the Heels have to do is move 10 yards upfield to kick a game-winning field goal. 4 straight plays, UNC loses a yard and gives the ball right back. We head to OT, and the Heels found yet another way to lose. Syracuse came away with the dub in double overtime, 40-37. Athletic staffers receive a lot of training to support student athletes. But what about professors? Faculty members attended a student-athlete mental health and well-being workshop during fall break to make sure all hands are on deck to keep the athletes healthy. Our Sydney Persing has the story.
The workshop was to teach faculty members about challenges student athletes face and to educate them about resources they can use to help. As part of their training, faculty got a visit from the NCAA. Senior Vice President and Chief Medical Officer Brian Hainline kicked off the event. I asked him why events for regular, non-athletics faculty members are so important.
If you're a faculty member and you have eyes on a student who's not been showing up, who's more withdrawn, all of a sudden is getting really poor grades, that should really be a red flag for the faculty member to say, hey, something's wrong.
Director of UNC Athletics Mental Health and Performance Psych Program, Jenny Shannon, agrees.
We just want everybody who interacts being able to have a good understanding of mental health, have empathy and compassion for it, and have a good understanding of how they can best help in these situations.
Part of achieving that compassion component meant explaining to faculty just how much student athletes have on their plates. Dr. Hainline presented a study that looked at median hours Division I athletes spend on athletics per week. Excluding basketball and football, both men and women athletes average a whopping 32 hours of athletics activity per week. Men's basketball players average 35 hours a week, while football players average 42. As the 4-hour summit came to a close, faculty left readier to support their Tar Heels students. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sydney Persing, reporting.
30 to 40 hours a week. That's like a full-time job. Time management is a critical skill for those student athletes trying to maintain good mental health.
Collegiate tennis players from near and far traveled to Chapel Hill this weekend to compete in the ITA Regional Championships. On day 2 of the competition, number 2 seed Alexa Graham took on Megan Kaufman from Winthrop University. After a close first set that Graham won 7-6, the Tar Heel star powered through the second set and won 6-3. On court 2, number 5 seed Sarah Davatilla matched up against Presbyterian College's Tracy Johnson. Davatilla cruised to victory, beating Johnson in straight sets 6-0, 6-2. Carolina players continued to win through the weekend, and in Monday's finals, Cameron Mora and McKenna Jones took the doubles title with a tiebreaker against the South Carolina pair. In the singles final, it was Tar Heel Sarah Davatilla with a big win against her opponent from South Carolina. 6-4, 6-2. That's a clean sweep for the team in light blue. One Tar Heel golfer wants to use her sport for a greater purpose. I sat down with Bryn Walker to find out why she's getting her team involved with a service project close to her heart.
This season, Walker reached out to Folds of Honor, a military tribute program, to find out how she could use her sport to honor fallen heroes.
Living here in a free country is really amazing, and I'm just very grateful that I was born in America. So in some way, through like my sport and my passion, to be able to show how much it means to me, it makes all the difference, I think.
One of Walker's veteran classmates suggested that the team honor his friend Staff Sergeant Andrew Andy Harvell, who served with the Air Force 24th Special Tactics Squadron. He was killed in action in 2011 when the Taliban shot his helicopter down in Afghanistan. For the rest of the season, one Tar Heel at each tournament will carry a golf bag bearing Staff Sergeant Harvell's name. Walker was the first player to carry it.
Carrying that bag and looking at that while I'm playing, just keeping in perspective that we're out here just hitting a little white ball around a field. Sometimes that seems like a lot of pressure, but really it's not a big deal at all compared to people giving their lives.
Walker says because her grandfather served in the Navy, her family raised her to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice.
The freedoms we have every day just aren't like a given right. Golf's just a game, and there's way more to life than that.
Walker says head coach Jan Mann has been nothing but supportive of her efforts to get involved with Folds of Honor.
Bryn starting this doesn't surprise me at all. She cares about other people, and Bryn is a leader on our team.
Mann says it's an honor to recognize a fallen soldier this season.
Carrying the bag will definitely keep things in perspective for this team. They work hard, they play hard, but to have a greater purpose than just a score on a scorecard, I think is very important.
The women's golf team will auction off the bag at the end of the season, and the proceeds will go to Folds of Honor.
The struggling volleyball team headed to Syracuse for the first match of a 4-game road stretch. UNC took an early lead in the first set, building off of strong hits like this from who else? Skylar Wine. But an inability to block the Orange's outside hitters, the defense just not really able to come through on this play at the net, plus multiple serving errors kept the Heels out of the match. UNC would lose in straight sets. The team came into Sunday's matchup against Boston College on a 6-match losing streak. Late in the first set, it was Skylar Wine with the kill to give her team the lead. She had 11 kills on the day for the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels thought they'd won the first set when the line judge called a tip on the Heels. BC would come back to win the first set 27-25. In the second set, it was all Eagles as they dominated the set 25-12 to go up 2-0. Tar Heels kept it close in the third set, but the Eagles still found a way to get the sweep with a 25-19 win. The loss is Carolina's 13th on the year, and with that loss, it is now mathematically impossible for the team to finish the season above 500. Thus, they are officially eliminated from NCAA postseason play. Don't go anywhere. Next, we take a look at UNC student Laura Folk.
She's a key part of the UNC equestrian team, but don't be fooled, she isn't horsing around.
That the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Enable me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
How do you relieve stress? Dawson Simpson says the star of the equestrian team hits the ring with her favorite four-legged friends for a break.
Nestled in Timberlake, North Carolina is Oak Hill Hunter Jumpers, where the UNC Club Equestrian team trains. Laura Folk is a standout on the team. Folk has been riding since she was 4 and still loves it. She consistently earns points for the team at shows and finishes at the top of her division. Folk also demonstrates her leadership and strong work ethic outside of the arena as the team's junior captain this year.
I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I didn't realize the denseness of the work, and luckily I have a wonderful senior captain, but it is a challenge to be in this role, but I am finding it very rewarding.
Folk doesn't just ride for UNC. She competes individually and has won a 4-H state championship title and recently placed first in the Triangle Farms Equitation on the Flat Challenge.
I'm really looking forward to us stepping up our competitiveness. We really took on a great group of new riders. All of our returning riders are in really good shape, and I'm super excited to hopefully be finishing more in the top 2 versus the top 4 at all of our regional horse shows this year.
Aside from the ribbons, Folk just loves being around horses. Between juggling chem labs and bio exams, riding is her escape.
It is my main sanity in college. It's how I release any of my stress. Getting to pet a horse, getting to groom a horse. When I get the luxury of riding the horse, it's just a major way that I can control any anxieties that I've been feeling in school, and it revitalizes me to be able to go back and get on my grind.
For Laura Folk and her team, this is no grind, and they're jumping into competition season. In Timberlake, I'm Dawson Simpson reporting.
Well, Elena, Tar Heel fans had some big news to wake up to this morning. The AP Top 25 men's basketball poll came out, and the Tar Heels are at number 8.
As far as I'm concerned, 8 is a lucky number. We can go ahead and skip past the rest of football season and head straight to basketball season.
I think a lot of fans would be behind that. Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.